Hey guys, welcome back to the Lemon Abroad. So today I'm starting to get ready for a trip that I am going to go on this weekend. I am going to go to Catania, which is about a 2.5 hour drive from Palermo, and it's on basically the other side of Sicily. It's the other, I guess, main city of Sicily. And I've been to Catania before, but it was a really quick trip and it was a long time ago and I don't remember so much about it. This weekend, though, I'm not going just to visit. I'm actually going to participate in a dance workshop. I've danced many styles over the years, but recently I have been learning traditional West African dance. So dance from Senegal, Mali, Guinea, and I really enjoy it. So this weekend in Catania, there will be a workshop, and I wanted to share this with you because I talk a lot about getting out of your comfort zone and trying new things. And I wanted to share with you that I really do know what that feels like because I really try to implement this in my own life. So while I have been to Catania before and I have done traditional West African dance before, I do know some people who will be there. Really, it's a new experience for me. First, I'll be traveling to Catania by myself. I'll be staying in a hostel. I know some people who are there, but in general, it's a totally new social context for me. There's going to be a lot of people I don't know there, a lot of people who are from Catania and elsewhere who have done workshops with this teacher before and are more familiar with his style. So I do have a lot of unknowns that I'm going into this with, and to be honest, I'm a little nervous. I think it's going to be a lot of fun, but definitely getting myself to Catania and getting set up, all of that is going to be totally new for me. I really don't remember much about the city, definitely not how to get around, so I have to figure all of that out. Also, the day I arrive is the Feast of Sant'Agata, who is the patron saint of Catania, so there will be a big celebration. So I'm really excited for all of these new experiences, and I just wanted to take you along with me so we can see together how exciting and scary, but mostly rewarding it is to break out of your comfort zone. So thank you so much. All right, and let's go. Hi everyone. So I just got back from my trip to Catania and I'm so glad that I went on this trip. It really was a challenge for me. I was really having some anxiety before I left about traveling by myself again and going somewhere that I'm not really familiar with. But I think I was really building it up in my head. And I also knew in the back of my mind that I had to go because I knew that I would be able to confront any challenges that came my way because that's how life is. We never know what's coming next. And we always find a way to deal with it. So I knew that no matter what happened, I would find a way to get through it. And I knew that I would come home 3 days later on the other side of it, having grown as a person, having met new people, and had new experiences that I couldn't have anticipated beforehand. So this really was a experience that pushed me out of my comfort zone. Absolutely. Also, I wasn't really familiar with the Festa of Sant'Agata before. I could not have anticipated on what large of a scale this festival was. So across Italy, actually, it's very common that cities have a patron saint and that there will be a festival to celebrate them. And this is a mix usually of religious ceremonies and popular tradition, as well as just general fun, merriment, food in the street, things like that. And I knew that the festival in Catania was very special. I knew that it was very important. I just could not have anticipated how many people would be there, especially in the situations where there was an event or when they were taking the saint around the city, for example. There would be thousands of people gathering in some pretty tight spaces to see her. So I first arrived to Catania on Friday. I took the bus, and from there I went to my hostel. And actually, when I got to the hostel, no one was responding to the doorbell, and I thought, oh my gosh, now I'm locked out of this hostel. I just got here. And
two people showed up and they were staying at the hostel, and I was so happy to meet them. And actually, later that day, I ended up going out to dinner with one of the people I had met. That's one thing that I do love about traveling is that you end up getting to meet people who you never would have been able to meet before, especially if you're staying in a hostel, because you're going to be seeing different people, not only the people who are in your room, but the people who are just in the hostel in general. It's such a mix of people. There are usually people of all ages from many different countries, and it's just a wonderful place where you are going to be exposed to people that you wouldn't have met in really any other circumstance. I think, especially when you're traveling by yourself, or if you're traveling with a friend, for example, staying in a hostel is a good way to meet people because you're going to want to find people to do things with, or to go have dinner with, or to go walk around the city with. And it just makes the experience so much more enjoyable. So, Friday night, we had gone out to dinner and then walked around the city a little bit, and people were starting to gather for the first big ceremony of the weekend. So on Saturday, I had my dance workshop. So I went to the dance center and I was able to see some of the people that I knew from Catania, and we began the workshop. As soon as the instructor told us what kind of dance we were going to be learning, I was so happy, and I definitely felt like it was meant to be that I had come to this workshop because it was a type of dance that I've always really loved watching, but I never had the opportunity to learn for myself. So that was just really special for me. The whole dance experience itself was a little challenging because I was a little under the weather, and I also was coming back from not having danced for a long time. So it was very challenging for me physically and mentally. However, I'm starting now to go forward again. So it really did kind of kick my butt and get me back into shape. However, having that challenging experience also reminded me why it's important to keep up with the activities that I enjoy, because I felt so happy being able to dance again and I had really missed it. So it recommitted me to not letting this fall to the wayside. And if it's something important to me, to really find a way to incorporate it into my life. Also, it was just so challenging to be dancing again after such a long time. And so I don't want to have to go through that period again. I think that that's also one reason why I had some anxiety before going on this trip is that I used to travel by myself a lot. And in the last few years, I've been more settled down and I've really gotten into a routine. So I'm just not as used to doing it anymore. So even though I knew I had done it before, it is kind of something like training that you have to keep doing it in order to feel comfortable with it. One of the things that can be challenging about traveling by yourself is about really being the person who's responsible for yourself. So, for example, on my last day when I was trying to get back to the bus to come back to Palermo, I totally accidentally found myself in the middle of this big crowd that I was telling you about that was waiting outside of the church. And it was really scary because there were just a lot of people and it was very tightly packed and no one was moving. So I was just trying to get to the other side of this large group of people. I didn't anticipate that it would be that tightly packed. So I didn't think to try and take another way. This was the clearest way to get where I was going. And I only had a few minutes to make it to the bus station. So I was really afraid that I was going to miss my bus. And it just reminded me that when you're traveling by yourself, you do have to try and anticipate things going wrong. You do have to try and have a backup plan, because what are you going to do if you miss your bus? What are you going to do if you're locked out of your hostel? And these are situations that you might not normally find yourself in when you're in your home city where you know 10 people who live down the street who could help you. And it's something that, while it can be uncomfortable in the moment, I think it helps you just be better prepared in general. And it's something that you take with you even when you come home from your trip. So, all in all, I'm just really glad I went. It was a lot of fun. It got me back into dance. I got to try something new, and I got to spend time with both people that I know and got to meet new people. And now, for example, if I want to travel to Catania again, I probably won't have these anxieties anxieties because I'll know where I'm going. I'll know where I want to stay. I'll know what I want to do. I'll know my way around. I already have a better understanding of the city than I did before I went. And I'm just really glad that I faced my fears and that I pushed myself out of my comfort zone. And now I have expanded my comfort zone. And I know that even if something seems scary or overwhelming at first, that I can take that challenge. I can step by step try to learn something new, try to go somewhere new and have a new experience. So that's what I'm taking with me from my weekend in Catania. I hope that this video has been useful to you as well if you're considering trying something new. I know it can seem scary at first, but it's really just that first step. So whether you're taking big steps or baby steps, remember it's always just one step at a time. The more you face these challenges, the more your zone of comfort grows and the better able you are to handle the next step. So thank you so much for watching this video. I'll see you next time. Ciao.